I am Mark Stewart, candidate for governor. Thank you for watching. We're into our third page, so round 3 begins here, and it begins with a message to cops, and even more so, to those who don't respect cops enough. I revere our police officers, average and above average, and even a little below average. These men and women have so much responsibility that most people don't appreciate. In the course of a given week, their decision-making about ethics and safety probably exceeds what the average worker is going to do in a month. They have to be physically fit, they have to be mentally alert, and they have to be cushioned against some vile forces that many of them have to deal with or have to be prepared to deal with. The people who object to the occasional use of force that have gone awry need to be more introspective. Without cops being able to do their jobs, we are all in jeopardy. It's been over 3 years since that Ferguson shooting, and almost 3 years since Freddie Gray's death. Okay, these have launched that movement. I don't even want to speak its name because it's so awry in its disdain for good policing and good law enforcement. Folks, at the heart of these awful protests lies a disdain for keeping the people themselves safe. Since Ferguson, has the city gotten any safer? No. Loretta Lynch has imposed millions of dollars in fines, scrutiny of a police force that makes it almost impossible for them to hire good new officers. Baltimore, the scene of Freddie Gray's death, it has gotten markedly less safe in the 2 years since it happened. Do you appreciate that when an officer has a nighttime traffic stop, he or she is almost certainly more scared than you? You never know who might be lying in wait in the back seat. You don't know what kind of weaponry or booby trap a motorist might have, and they still have to do their jobs. Even without the occasional fearful police stop, their daily work is subject to scrutiny, real time when they're wearing body cams, and afterwards. Do you want to be scrutinized in your office job as even a quarter as much as your average officer on the beat? All right, so if you can't have the reverence that I have, at least have the respect, and at least use it to make yourselves safe. And here I'm speaking to those activists who still want their own African American followers to put up fights. Sorry, this is what causes people to get killed. When you are being stopped, rightly or wrongly, hands should go up or out. Don't let the officer be fearful. Put yourself in her place or his place. If there were a profiling of people like me, short, dark-haired guys, and I happen to be in the neighborhood where somebody deservedly should be pulled over because he might be the bad guy, I'm going to submit. I'm going to be, for 5 to 10 minutes, yes, searched, but in the process of getting to less crime. The people who insist that, oh, cops got to totally stay away, hurt their own communities. Now, as you know, there are certain things that I do think cops should stay away from, but I'd like them to be legalized, okay? It's silly to go after prostitution. It's silly to go after adults doing drugs, selling drugs. Let them alone. Let cops go after real crime, and they'll be better able to do it. Very few cops are racist. How do I know this? There was a study, it's in the 1980s, about cops using force against perpetrators. There was no distinction in the number of times, percentage of incidents of officers using force against black people, whether they were white officers or black officers. They are all united in wanting to put away the bad guys, wanting to make it safe for the good people, white or black or brown. Police need our help, or at least our respect. Many of them would like community policing. That's where we help the cops by saying something if we see something. We're not supposed to get meddlesome, but we're supposed to be an extra set of eyes and maybe an extra voice to calm down things that would otherwise turn into a bad incident. We should work with cops. Those who are still fighting against cops because of some perception of racism are hurting everyone.